Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, welcome back to another live. Got a few things that we are going to be chatting about. You know what I'm saying? Help get you guys through your day. Okay, make sure you're doing what you do when you come in. Go ahead and like up the video and all of that. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and just hop into some things. All right, let's see what I want to talk about first because I can't wait to get to Kevin Hart's story for real. Because you know what? I said that I was going to. Let me see. I forgot where he did that interview at. I said I was gonna have that. Okay, so y'all know that of course Kevin Hart is being sued, or whatnot. And I'm looking for. We're gonna talk about that. I just wish I could find that. Is this the video? I think that may be it. This was like 3 years old. So we may play this when it comes to the Kevin Hart situation. Okay. So first of all, let us go ahead and go and get into it without further ado. Let us just hop right on into things. Okay. I want to get into this story here. This black boy, I have been seeing it over on social media. This guy here, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit on this screen. All right. I can't zoom out too much, but this guy, I believe his name is Dwight Jackson. I did see this over on Twitter first. But basically he applied for a job using his real first and last name, and I don't think he got the job. So he put on his resume a completely different name, and I believe they offered him, an interview. I think that's what it was. So now he's filing a discrimination lawsuit against the company that I believe is a hotel. But CNN is reporting a black man got a job interview after he changed the name on his resume. Okay, they're saying a black man has filed an employment discrimination lawsuit against a hotel in Detroit, Michigan, alleging that the hotel only offered him a job interview after he changed the name on his resume. And you know what's crazy? I feel like this has been going on for so many years. You feel what I'm saying? That's why and maybe it's because it could be the computer generated applications of some sort. I do believe before things started to be, heavily done as far as online applications and stuff, I feel like they would look at a lot of resumes, and if they can't pronounce the name, I feel like they didn't really give people a chance or whatever. Or if it's not like a black name, yeah. So I'm surprised that we haven't been hearing about a lot of discrimination lawsuits when it comes to this. And it's really sad that we're in 2024 where you would think everybody's looking for jobs and everybody's hiring, since they want to say people ain't trying to work or whatever. So if you say people ain't trying to work, that means you got a lot of jobs available for people. So with people trying to get opportunities to work, you would think that it wouldn't matter what the name is. But I don't know exactly how he applied. I'm not sure if it was online or if he went and dropped that application off in person or what happened. But that really shouldn't be going down. Y'all need workers, don't it? It don't matter what they look like, right? Let's keep going. They're saying that Dwight Jackson filed a lawsuit against the Shinola Hotel on July 3rd, alleging he was denied a job when he applied as Dwight Jackson. So he was denied. So he was straight out denied, but later offered an interview when he changed his name to John Jabrowski. Ain't that something? John Jabrowski. Baby, that would be my name too on all applications. They said the lawsuit alleges Jackson was denied a job in violation of Michigan Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. Okay, they said between January and April of this year, Jackson, who's 27 years old, applied to multiple positions at the Shinola Hotel in downtown Detroit, including a role in reception. And this is all according to the lawsuit. All right, it's a luxury hotel. His attorney said that, or at least the attorney provided a copy of Jackson's resume, which details consistent employment, including previous roles as a front desk agent. So this is not something that's new to him at all. And you would think that, especially when it comes to, like customer service and stuff, you would think that they would be focused on the damn credentials. I'm more interested in how it shouldn't matter, but I do wonder, how was this application submitted? Okay, they said Mr. Jackson had applied for a job that he was eminently qualified for. After getting no response to his initial job applications in April 2024, he applied again, making one significant change, and that was his name. I wonder who advised him of that too. Like, who suggested you change the name? Was it something you just like, let me change my name and see what happens? Like, and where you get the name from? Okay, because that was an interesting John Jabrowski. Was an interesting name there. So they said, according to the lawsuit, Jackson applied to the hotel twice for similar positions, and more readily apparently used a Caucasian name. All right. He says the resumes have different dates of previous employment. He was offered multiple interviews within the same week. Wow. To be denied a job in 2024 in your hometown for the color of your skin goes beyond dollars and cents. It goes into the psyche of a person, he says. That is so messed up. And, I feel like he should get money. Y'all got to let me know, because some people may be in disagreement with this. They may be like, no, you shouldn't be able to sue nobody, no business because you changed your name and now you got an interview. That's not discrimination. Some people may feel like he don't got a case. I feel like he should, because, he did do some manipulating on the resume, and maybe some people would feel like he did that to catch the company up, but I don't mind it, because y'all be catching predators up and they still got to go to jail. And I know that's like on two completely different spectrums, like two totally different things, but y'all still set schemes and stuff in place. And then when the person, moves forward with the act, they got to deal with the crime behind it. So he set up a play, changed the name, may have switched up dates, but credentials never changed. Okay, submitted it with a new name. And then now all of a sudden you're like, hey, John Jabrowski. Hey, John. As if John is going to do a better job than Dwayne. That's crazy. So I do feel like, hey, the proof is in the pudding. I think that he should get a coinage off that. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in the millions or anything, but they said shortly after Jackson underwent the interview process, he was informed that he was no longer a viable candidate for the position. So y'all called him in, found out that John Jabrowski is actually a black man, and then turned around and said, hey, sorry, you can't work here, even though his credentials line up. And that, as I think about it, it just really irritates me, because it takes me back to a place where, you want to get a job out of college or whatnot, and that's in your field, and then they tell you have to have so many years of experience before you could get this opportunity. And everybody says that, and it's like, bro, I'm trying to get the experience. If you would hire me, you know what I'm saying? I just hate the different stipulations they put in place to restrict people from, moving forward in their careers and stuff, but it's whack. Was there anything else to this? They said they've seen a lot of discrimination in hiring, especially when it comes to the exclusion of minorities and individuals who have minority sounding names. I feel like also with him having to have this lawsuit, and it looks like they already have a Civil Rights Act, y'all just better be mindful of who y'all voting for and who y'all putting in office in y'all local area. Okay? And make sure they are against people, discriminating against individuals like him and yourself. Just be mindful of that. Okay? Make sure they ain't trying to come in and change some shit up and be like they don't give a damn. It's just crazy. Do y'all want people to work or not? Do you want people to go to school or you don't? And now I'm thinking about the hair, because I know they had the Crown Act and all of that. You can't wear your hair a certain way. You can't wear colors. You can't do this. You can't do that. But when some of the other employees that's on the other hand do that stuff or wear certain colors or wear certain, y'all don't say nothing. Do you want the people to get the job done or you don't? Because most of the jobs that be trying to put stipulations around what a person looks like, all y'all doing is sitting on the damn phones all day anyway. For majority of those jobs, who's really coming into the office? Who is that? So it's just like, what y'all want them to do? Now I'm thinking about when I think about the hair, I'm thinking about the kids y'all try to restrict from graduating. Do you want to add value to your graduation rate or you don't? What does what's on their head got to do with what's in their head? Come on now. This is crazy. But I definitely, I'm glad he's suing. Sue that. So I don't care. Get your coin. Okay. Give me them luxury dollars, luxury hotels since y'all want to decline me. Okay. Bring me in for an interview. See that I'm a black man. Didn't want to turn around and send me back out the door. I hope he get a piece of coin. If it was anybody else, y'all about make them come up off of something, depending on the situation. So good luck to that man. Good luck. And I don't know. He might. I don't think he gonna get no millions, but you never know. But hopefully he get a little sum. And also, what I'm thinking is that this company may not want this negative stigma, or they probably don't want this negative attention. So they may try and hurry up and settle it. So who knows? But that just pisses me off a bit. It's like, girl, do y'all want people to get in there and work, or y'all don't want them to work? Cause like y'all the ones that's not hiring for real. Okay. Then you get people that's trying to apply. You ain't really trying to interview them, call them back, do nothing, but then be out here talking about people don't want to work. What's going on? Anyway, let us move on, okay? Because see, they done got me a little hot with that. I don't like that. I hope he get him some money. Anyway, child, let's get on. Let's talk about Basketball Wives, specifically Jackie, Christie, and Miss Evelyn Lozada. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I watched one episode. I think that was when it came on last week. Bland, fell asleep. Shawnee O'Neal, I think that it's okay that this particular show may have run its course because we tired. I felt like at the end of last season, I noticed that Evelyn, at the reunion, Evelyn had created this issue or whatever with Jackie. And it's like, y'all was just good. Now you beefing with her. I'm like, okay, y'all need some more drama to keep going on as y'all go to the next seasons. Like, I just, it's just not working. Whatever the dynamics is y'all think y'all got going on over there, it's not working. It honestly hasn't worked since the situation with OG has happened and y'all lost a bit of viewers or whatnot. But even with that, the storylines, y'all done lost Malaysia show that she did with Carlos, I personally think fell flat. A lot of people wasn't into it, so she may try and tiptoe back over into Basketball Wives land. But y'all might need to either let it go completely or recast the whole show. Just recast everybody. But anywho, whatever has happened, Jackie and Evelyn have been beefing, so much so to the point that Evelyn decided that she was going to go and get a private investigator to dig into Jackie Christie's life to find out some tea about her.
How I break it down is, I use a specific database, and the subject that you asked me to search, I came up, she's got 15 total names.
I knew I was on the right path. The only thing that can explain this is that Jackie has been living a double life.
You know how many times, I guess maybe she's been married?
She's been married a total of 4 times.
Do you know the last names
she?
of the people and who she was married to?
A gentleman by the last name of Lee, and she was married to George Wilson.
So I think we can eliminate some of those AKAs through some of the knowledge that you already have. But I have a full preliminary background, and it looks like she was arrested.
Holy.
So it appears that Jackie was arrested for prostitution back in 1987. Okay. Now, that's just from what they investigated. I don't know what the rules were back then in 87. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably could have found her in the car humping with her man and then decided to put in the system that that lady was arrested for prostitution. You know what I'm saying? Versus her actually, like, unless it was like a transaction with another officer or somebody, like she thought she was picking up somebody and next thing you know, hey, you're arrested, whatever. Whatever happened in 87, nobody really cares. The only thing I care about with 87 is the age difference between Porsha Williams and Simon Guobadia and what he was doing in 87 versus what she was doing in 1987. High key. But as far as this lady has been married. Like, you know how Drea got on the show and said her wholeness was deleted? Listen, whatever Jackie Christie has done when it comes to that, if that is indeed true according to this private investigator, nobody really cares. It's old tea. It's old news. So it's new to a lot of us, though. But I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like her wholeness has been deleted, if that is true, because she's been married to Doug Christie for years. And the gag is this woman has been married for years. If anybody is Basketball Wives, it's Jackie Christie, for real. And y'all know we be having our ups and downs with Jackie Christie, but most of the time I'm going to ride with Jackie and all her craziness. Period. So I just don't think that's nice or right to put that tea out there about that lady when you don't even like when people call you out, Evelyn, for the child that you have and the connections that you've had to men in, sports, okay? In the national sports. And tied to their checks and their coins. People already feel like, and I hate to say it, I really do. I hate to say it, but I'm just telling y'all what the people have been thinking, okay? They feel like her last baby was a money bag child. You know what I'm saying? To be able to get a coin up off of Carl. Even though they were actually engaged and you would think that they were in love or whatever. Maybe the baby came from love. But based on Evelyn, a lot of people feel like she was only with that man for a bag. Every man that she's been tied to in, football, basketball, whatever, it was all about getting a coin. And I don't know. But I ain't gonna say that's close to prostitution or escorting, but it's a different type of level and you was getting something out of the deal. Okay, so if Jackie was getting her a little piece of something out the deal in 1987 and it resulted in her getting arrested, it is what it is because she's been happily married. And I don't think Evelyn has been married once. And I really hate to shade her like that. I really, really do. But has Evelyn, I don't think she's ever been, no. I mean, I don't even want to count Chad because that marriage was for 30 days, maybe 60. It's like it never even happened. So that really don't even count for real. Was she ever married before him? I don't think she was. So it's like you trying to drag Jackie, and Jackie been able to keep this man for God knows how long. And you still over here trying to come up with your next baller. So what is it really giving? I don't think that was nice. I don't think that was nice at all. Let me see how Jackie responded, though. Jackie said, you over there talking this, and we over here celebrating our anniversary. Okay, not giving a damn about none of that. She says, marrying you again today was beautiful. 29th infinity. I know that's real, bitch. I'm sorry. That wasn't necessary. That was not necessary, Miss Evelyn, trying to put Jackie out there like that. Talking about that lady did prostitute. That is so not nice. And now you got people having to drag your daughter, and now people do not. Well, I'll say you don't like when people talk about your daughter, but you just sat up here and talked about Jackie. Now your daughter, girl, done got her own self tied up, and the people for to be dragging her. So then how you finna turn around and try and defend your daughter? That's why, girl, it's a mess. So you said all this about Jackie and the prostitution, and now people been on your head talking about your own relationships. And you can't even keep a man, and you doing new age, whatever you doing to keep a bag. And then now people on your head about you need to spend more time having conversations with your daughter who has gone on to get pregnant. And people are alleging that it's by the game because they was caught out. This was back in 2023 in December. Caught hanging out with each other. I didn't know they was dating. Next thing you know, she's pregnant. But unfortunately for him, he has this situation going on. Okay. Where, this woman accused him of SAing her, and she did sue that, and she did win. And now he's been trying to not pay. So y'all need to be focused on making sure that lady don't snatch that man's house up. Because he has a $7 million judgment. They're saying the game was served. The accuser served him and WAC 100 with a notice of a levy in hopes of seizing his property to collect on the $7 million judgment that he got going on. This is not a good look. It's not a good look at all. They said a process server sent a notice of levy, writ of execution, and more to the game. They said she's eyeing a mansion of his out in Calabasas. We'll see what's going to happen with that. While you over there talking about some prostitution, y'all might have to do a little something to help him out. So that lady don't get that man stuff. Help him out with this $7 million judgment that he got. That's terrible, girl. And see, now what you trying to come for Jackie like this, I just feel like you're just going to be getting some bad luck. I feel like some bad luck finna start coming your way, Miss Evelyn. The way you try to air Jackie out for being a prostitute. That don't nobody give a damn about today. We hate to see it. And then also, can I say that I feel like they pulling at straws and doing anything that they can to get people to watch the show because ain't nobody tuning in. That's another thing. Because I feel like also with the neighborhood talk, they ain't really been posting stuff like this on Basketball Wives in the past. And I feel like they probably have been paid. You know, same way Zeus was paying them to slick promote this show. Because they did it. They found something last week to post about Basketball Wives. I'm like, oh, y'all post about Basketball Wives like this? Like the actual show itself? I know y'all may post about the individuals, but the show? And then now here we are again. So I'm like, ain't nobody watching this shit. So y'all trying to find some stuff to keep it in conversation for people to turn around and tune in. But my thing is this. Y'all need to drop this show or drop some of the cast members and start over, or just bring us back Basketball Wives Orlando, because that was a good one. That one was really refreshing. Brand new ladies. We had at least one familiar face, maybe two if you know Neat, through YouTube and stuff. But it was really good. This is what y'all should have brought back. And Megan James is actually speaking to this. So somebody asked her, let's see. They said also the fact we don't have Orlando is wild. Okay. They asked Megan to explain. Megan said, child, I don't know. Somebody else says, I think they should have centered the show around Ashley and tried to make her the shiny of the group instead of Megan. No shade to Megan. I'm a huge fan of hers, but I don't think she's strong enough to lead this cast or whatever. She said, and Ashley is? That's what I'm saying. And Ashley is? You really think Ashley is? Absolutely not. No, she's not. I don't know where that came from. And then she goes on to say, I don't know where Basketball Wives Orlando is, y'all. It's above me. Ask the network, child, at them. All right. Somebody else says it's canceled. We already saw the news weeks ago. Go back on Baddies and get a real bag. So she says, actually, it's not canceled yet. That's what she said. So I don't know. It's just in limbo at this time. But y'all can bring us this. Bring us this and see. But I'm starting to think about this. Why? What came in my head? I don't know why. So Evelyn brings up the fact that Jackie has a past of prostitution. I high-key don't really care, but then I'm over here thinking about Kenya Moore and the alleged outing of Brittany Edie being an escort. I got to process that more and see how I feel about that. I feel like it's different with Jackie because she's been married for so long, so I don't care. And we know Jackie. I don't know Brittany Edie for real to know how I feel about that. The leaking of the photos is one thing, or releasing of photos or whatever. But her being an escort is another thing. I probably would have still shrugged my shoulders like, okay, there's plenty of these damn women that be trying to be social media influencers that be out here escorting and doing whatever else the hell it is that they doing. So good luck. Yeah, Ashley on Basketball Wives Orlando. That was the woman that had the autistic children. I think her husband was autistic as well. She was like, she looked white, but I think she said that she had black in her family or something like that. So yeah, it's from Basketball Wives Orlando. To the person that was asking about that. Okay, so that's all we got on that when it comes to Basketball Wives, Shawnee, Miss Jackie, all of that foolishness they got going on. Let's go ahead and get into some Real Housewives, okay? Now, Falynn went over here. Not that they put licensed prostitute in quotations over here. Girl, we is just never going to get off the conversation of a licensed prostitute. Now, we done went from somebody being called a prostitute in 87 to now so we call them licensed prostitutes now. I thought the licensed ones was technically the escorts. But this is what Falynn is saying about Porsha. Girl, these Wabadias is something the fuck else. You know what? I meant to pull up something else that I did not get into on yesterday. Let me see if I could grab that. It may still be on his page. Cause girl, and then you got what's his name? You got Dennis coming out. Girl, it's just too much going on with these Wabadias, ain't it? Let me see. Girl, he done posted again an hour ago. I don't know who y'all. I don't know what y'all got. Let's just get it. We're going to get into him first, though. We're going to get into Mr. Simon first. And then we'll get into what Miss Falynn had to say. All right. Let me go back here real quickly. Thank you so much, Danielle, for the super chat. I appreciate it. It says that, Evelyn, we don't care. You've been selling that box, and that's okay. Now folks will be on your daughter's R's. Thank you so much for the super chat. They are. They definitely are. Now that she old enough, so it's like she grown now. She about to have her own child. So the people definitely finna come at her even more because she ain't no kid no more. And she pregnant by the game, allegedly. Child, I can't. Good luck. Let's keep going, all right? Because I wanted to get into Simon real quick. So, you know, Porsha put out a message, okay? Porsha put out something saying that Simon has ED, erectile dysfunction. So, but she been said this a long time ago. So why he came back to bring this up again? I think she keeps saying it. That's what it is. She may put like ED at the end of a post, and he knows that she's talking about him. So he says this railroad 265 days just does not get it. There are consequences for making inflammatory and defamatory statements. Get your coins together. You're going to need every dime to defend what's coming. A woman that has a history of coming for the manhood of every ex, peddling same old narratives and tricks. Unfortunately, you met the right one. Listen, Simon has been, Porsha, you have met the right one. You have. And clearly, Simon has nothing but time on his hands. The way that he has come onto Instagram on a regular basis, like it is a part of his day-to-day work. Okay? He comes on Instagram, he airs you the hell out. In the meantime, he's getting his attorneys to send stuff to the courts to prevent you from moving forward in any way, shape, or form. It is a damn mess. And you know what'd be crazy? Is if Porsha goes through all of this with Simon and still don't get shit. But it wouldn't be surprising because I feel like they ain't been married. Like what? They ain't even last 2 years. So I don't think she should be entitled to a lot of his stuff. But when I see him constantly come online, I be like, I hope she gets something out of your ass because you annoying. Okay? I can imagine what the hell she had to go through while she was with you. But then it takes me back to the other mind where it was like, you wanted that man. You got him. Deal with it. You know? So if you did all of this, go through all of that, he airing you out, putting out the fact that you've been out here cheating, dealing with different men and stuff, try to call you a hoe and stuff like that. Girl. Then it made me feel like you should get something. But this is what you wanted. So I don't know. Y'all crazy as hell. But let's get into Falynn real quick because Falynn had some things to say. I guess she ran into Porsha. And she didn't necessarily run into Porsha. So let's see. Uh-oh. Do I not have the audio on? Give me 1 second. What did I do? Oh. Do I not have it on? Okay. I don't know why it's not working. Let me see if I can refresh. Oh, I know why it's not working. My bad. Okay, there we go. Oh, y'all still can't hear. I'm sorry.
I hope they don't see each other because I don't want my party to turn left.
Yeah, we definitely locked eyes. I was like, you going to take this moment to say something? Or I said, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's my best friend's birthday.
Because you could have ruined your best friend's birthday.
Right.
And you didn't want to be that
Who
friend.
wants to do that? Right, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do it for, a licensed prostitute. I'm not doing that.
Whoa! Let's get up out of here.
I mean, they are calling her Muhammad Ali. They say she got them hands. That's all I'm gonna say.
They are.
Okay.
Wait, speaking of Porsha,
Damn.
a couple weeks ago, I saw you two in the club at the same time. I don't know if y'all seen each other. I saw y'all at Ladies of R&B, and I was very surprised because I really never see you on Wednesday. I've seen Porsha come a few times.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was thinking, I hope they don't see each other because I don't want my party to turn left.
Yeah, we definitely locked eyes. I was like, you going to take this moment to say something? Or I said, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's my best friend's birthday.
Because you could have ruined your best friend's birthday.
Right.
And you didn't want to be that
Who wants
friend.
to do that? Right, exactly.
Okay.
And I'm not going to do it for, a licensed prostitute. I'm not doing that.
Whoa! Let's get up
Damn.
out of here. Let's get up out of here.
I mean, they are calling her Muhammad Ali. They
But I just kind of feel like, I understand Falynn may still be mad with Porsha for how she was navigating and how she moved when it came down to the whole, getting with that lady man before they fully got a divorce or whatever. But at the same time, I feel like Simon wasn't that much of a catch for real to continue to have all of this energy in my personal. I don't know if Porsha may have done some things behind the scenes or whatnot since they've married, but I just feel like watching what Porsha is going through with Simon, she really ain't he ain't no damn prize. He's not. So maybe she's just still on this energy because Porsha was smiling in her face coming over wearing her clothes and stuff, and you still mad about it, and she took your man and now you still mad about it. I feel like I wouldn't care. Like, she getting her karma now. Like, Falynn, you don't have to, like, even if you are Muhammad Ali or whatever they're labeling you as and saying that you can really throw hands and stuff, you don't have to be hard for us. You don't have to get no get back on Porsha either. Porsha is getting her get back now. So you don't have to front like you want to run up and do her up or any of that. It's not, I don't think it's that damn deep in my personal life. She's literally getting her ass whooped right now. And he's doing it on a daily basis. He just called her out about being involved with Future in some capacity. And he's going to bring, and I told y'all this a few months ago. I could have sworn I told y'all that this was not going to be, when he first called out, who is this man that she's been in communication with, like exposure relationship to the first African guy. I was like, I feel like it's going to be more. He's going to probably drop names damn near every month. Whatever he can come up with or connected to, that's what he gonna do. Then I saw a post today from Dennis. Dennis. Dennis was over there playing some Shaggy, It Wasn't Me in the background. And he said something to like, make sure you have HD and not ED. So I guess he meant have hard zit, but don't be sitting up there having no erectile dysfunction or whatnot. And then he also said money ain't enough or something like that. He said, you ain't got enough money or something. That sound like some Stormy had said, you ain't got enough money to come at me, bitch. But it looks like Dennis is taking his baby mama side. I'm not really mad at that. Like, that's your baby mama. You should have her back. I know Porsha was trying to beat your ass because you touched her family. He touched my family. But y'all still family too. So I guess just let Simon know that she ain't out here by her damn self. So you gonna come for her, you gonna have to come for me. So that's just where they at with it. Then Falynn do the same with Simon's wife before her. That I never heard. I've never heard that Falynn did the same exact thing. I always thought that it was he had been divorced from that other woman before him and Falynn ever got together or anything like that. So I've never heard of Falynn doing anything and dating this man or any of that before before they got together. And I could see some of Porsha fans possibly, I could see if it was made up for people to put them in the same boat, but I don't think they are. The most I've seen her get drugged for is the fact that she got 4 kids with 4 different men. But as far as the conversation of her and Simon, I haven't heard that one. That's the new girl. That is the new for me. Now, speaking of Miss Porsha, honey, it looks like she's trying to get Phaedra back. Now, we did see where Love B. Scott and the team did let us know that, they're working on a contract of some sort with Phaedra. I know I did hear that she had quit Married to Medicine. So I don't know if she quit because she was trying to work on the contract over here or what. I was told that she didn't want to open up too much about her life and stuff. So she was just like, I'm good. Take me back to where the hell I came from, which was Real Housewives of Atlanta. So let's see what Porsha is saying at this time. And then I also wonder with what Porsha is about to say, how is Kenya feeling? Because Kenya is no longer going to be a part of the upcoming season of Real Housewives of Atlanta as we know it. And I'm just, you spent all this time, posting Porsha, talking about some hashtag 12 years strong and saying all this and that. And now Porsha is trying to get the person that, would be considered an enemy, in Housewives world of yours. She's trying to get this person onto the show. I wonder how you feel about it. Basically trying to get her back as your replacement. So let me see. Let me unmute this one too. Cause I don't know why I muted
really,
all these tabs.
I really want Phaedra to find her way back home, okay? I need y'all to go and write Bravo, okay? And let them know that we want Phaedra to come and play, okay? I tend to believe there's enough of Phaedra to go around, okay?
Hilarious.
She's a traitor star. She's rocking Married to Medicine. Why not come and get this bag over here, sis? Right? Exactly. She has to. Get Phaedra back. Okay, so we are working. I'm working. I really want Phaedra to find her way back home, okay? I need y'all to go and write
Listen,
Bravo.
I'm indifferent. I could care less. If Phaedra came back, it is what it is. Y'all already know how I feel. If it was up to me, none of these old heads would be bringing us back. High key. Just start all over with a brand new set of people and build it around Shamia or some shit. Because we know Shamia, but we don't know Shamia for, like, she's always been in that friend role, but she's a familiar enough of a face, you know what I'm saying? She's an actual housewife. She got 2 kids. She got the most money out of all of them. Like, why? I mean, just center it around her, and then we'll figure the rest of this out. You know, I'll be honest and say I don't think Phaedra is really that bad of TV. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's that bad. She has her moments where she could be funny and sedity and all of that stuff or whatever. She might be in her element with Porsha, just like that's why they were highlighting in Love B. Scott's article the Watch What Happens Live anniversary that they did and how they got such a great response with Porsha and Phaedra's chemistry, which is the reason why they would want her back. So I mean. We'll have to see. I mean, I don't know. But it does seem like she's trying to get her back. I think it might happen. They ain't got Miss Kenya. So I can see them possibly bringing Phaedra back to keep up a little bit of the mess. I'm indifferent about it. It's going to be whatever it's going to be. And I'm probably going to tune in. And if it ain't capturing my attention, I'm going to tune out. So they better get it together because it's still in damn shambles. This is tragic. Good luck. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's another thing. As we're speaking on Miss Phaedra, y'all know Phaedra still be out here. She still be doing her thing. Okay. When it comes to her being an attorney. So Chaotic is one of the cast members over at Love and Hip Hop ATL. And I wonder why the hell was he even dealing with court anyway? But Phaedra and him decided to come to social media to let y'all know why y'all still harping on that one moment with Bob. When Bob came in there and wore Miss Phaedra out in the courtroom, she's like, why y'all harping on that? And any other cases that I lost, guess what? I won this one, okay, for my client. And he wanted to let everybody know.
It's not, well, y'all know she's not just a TV star and a superstar, but she's a super duper lawyer star. You're super duper.
I need one of those right now.
You need Phaedra right now? You want me to hire her for you?
Let me tell you what, my daughter got into a world of trouble because she got with the wrong guy. And she got pulled over for a suspended registration in a vehicle that belonged to him while he was in the car. The car was insured, and now they're telling her she's got to have all of this proof, or she's going to have to pay $500 and do 2 days in jail. This is a girl who has been beaten down this road, ran through a ringer. She's lucky to be alive because he got her addicted to heroin. Caught a felony for him.
I wouldn't expect it all this time.
They want her to have proof. She can't be in touch with this man. She's not having like no contact with him by law. And now they're wanting.
Phaedra like, ooh, Lord.
You got to do something because it's just wrong.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's crazy. That is the most crazy story I've ever, like, that's.
Men can do a lot of damage to a lot of women. And they do.
That's why we gotta protect our women.
When you tell the police, keep our door away from this, I want to
It's not funny.
No, you don't understand. He beats her. He's got her addicted to heroin.
She telling all the tea, baby. Oh, no.
Well, she didn't OD. She told him, you got to come home.
It's not, well, y'all know she's not.
Moral of the story is, baby, okay, I can't take it. Okay, I'm over here looking for the video where he talks about Phaedra winning this case, and which we are gonna get. We're gonna get into that. But This lady done came down here and told her daughter T. But hey, do what you gotta do. I mean, you probably could get Phaedra. Maybe Phaedra will help you out in that situation, honey. But anywho, child, let's check out what he had to say because she got all his charges dismissed, girl.
So court started at 9. It's 9 o'clock right now. Court started already. Phaedra is late. She says she'll be here any minute, so she late. So I'm about to walk in the courtroom.
Mim's so messy in the comments.
And just sitting here and wait on her so I don't get a FTA, whatever that lady said. Because I am here.
Failure to show.
Phaedra, you the best. Listen, let me tell y'all, I just want y'all to know this. Phaedra is the best lawyer in the world. I just walked inside the courtroom with all type of stuff that a regular person would have been going to prison right now.
Not prison. What is that?
We don't know. I just know that all my cases got dismissed thanks to Phaedra. Phaedra, the bang is you came up in here looking like the lawyer of lawyers. Yes. I love you.
Let's
so
give a
much.
nice
Listen,
executive bob.
Y'all tap in. Phaedra is not what y'all know. So court started. She's not just a TV star and a superstar, but she's a super duper lawyer star. You're super duper.
And that's where she goes into the damn spiel, child. I cannot. And then you got memes in the comments being messy. So Bobby Brown said he went to jail every time Phaedra represented him. Oh, shit. Phaedra, girl. Well, she's getting something right, okay, in 2024. Let me tell y'all this. Phaedra said she's not going to fumble too many bags this year, okay? Now, I don't know what happened with the Married to Medicine too much bag, because some people, saying that she got released. Some people saying that she quit. Either way, she's about to bounce on to the next bag, which is possibly Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she's still running her successful attorney business. And then y'all know she also has the funeral home. So Phaedra gonna keep a check. She ain't gonna be fumbling too many bags like some of these folks in 2024. Ooh, child. Well, congratulations to Miss Phaedra for helping this man get his case dismissed or the charges dismissed or whatever. So good luck, honey. Let's move on, because this is what I want to talk about. I want to get into this because y'all know, first of all, there's so many first of alls, okay? But Kevin Hart sued his friend. So a few years ago, Kevin Hart was caught cheating on his wife in a hotel, okay? Video and everything leaked out. They were trying to find out who was the person that put this information out. And he accused his friend, Mr. Jonathan J.T. Jackson, of leaking this information and trying to extort him. And then turned around and then he sued Tasha K for trying to extort him as well. I said, now look, when this case get dismissed or whatever happens with Miss Tasha K and she turn around and sue you if she can, there's gonna be some messy stuff there, honey. But I was wondering, and I saw this video, I think it was this year or last year, and we're gonna check it out from Comedy Hype. And when I listened to it, I was like, time will kind. I think it was this video. I think it was this one. It could have been some other one, but I know I was watching some JT Jackson interviews, and it was with his attorney and stuff. And I said, well, time will kind of tell if he is like redeemed or cleared or whatever in the matter of what happened. And I think that's the reason why he may be suing Mr. Kevin, because he didn't clear his name. Basically, it seems like Jonathan didn't have nothing to do with the extortion claims that were out there. Like, you got this man, this was one of your best friends, and you got this man tied the fuck up, damn near lost his career, about can't book no job, can't do a whole lot of nothing, never came back to clear this man's name up or anything, and then didn't give him the money that was owed. Like, that's some crazy stuff, but I guess it only would have made Kevin look worse, right? Hey, he came out and did that. But let's check out a little bit of what this one is saying. I just grabbed one. I think this is it. But they said in 2017, Kevin Hart would take to social media to publicly confront a SEX tape, infidelity, and potential extortion plot against him. In 2018, his friend of 15 years, JT, would be arrested and charged for extortion connected to the 2017 incident. And let me make sure that's not muted. Okay. 2019, 2019, a judge dropped Jackson's extortion charges due to insufficient evidence. So therefore, y'all was sitting over there just saying this man did some stuff that he didn't really do. All right. In this one-on-one with Comedy Hype, Jackson breaks his silence, maintains his innocence, and is now fighting to clear his name. And I remember when I saw this, and this is crazy because I didn't even know this was out 3 years ago. But when I saw it, I was like, dang, why it ain't got as many views? It ain't even have no 287, so they must have acquired this more recently. But I'm like, why it don't have a whole lot of views the way that the story was going around, flying about? You know what I'm saying? Everybody was so crazy about the story, but nobody really talked about this man, pretty much being cleared or whatever. So let's see if we could get to this.
Something to you. We're like this. And these accusations that they're accusing me, your boy, for 15 years. You don't want to sit down and talk to me, brother?
So as we move along, years go by, and then 2017.
Yeah.
The public finds out that a sex tape has leaked. And then at this time, Kevin jumps on social media to confront whatever he felt was happening to him.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with you in this moment as his friend when you see this playing out?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, I was disappointed. Still am. I'm gonna be dead ass. Still am disappointed in him.
He look like he finna cry already.
You know, him and I, we've been friends, since that happened, like a good 15 years strong. Like homie, you know my character. You're not gonna hang around somebody that for that long and invite them into your personal space. Not just like whatever happened that weekend where we all had a good time. We all went out. He invited us all out, but he invited me, my wife, to his home. He took us to Mexico. We had that was the type of that's how he looked at us. And like I was just disappointed in. He just immediately, boom.
And Kevin tweets, mind blown, hurt, at a loss for words, and simply in complete disbelief at the moment. Wow. To take the situation from it being about what you did and then flipping it and making yourself a victim of said situation. And then everybody forgets about the fact that, oh, wow, Kevin cheated. But it's more so about, he was extorted to save face and save his career. Let me tell you, the PR team was definitely working. They were over there doing their jobs because it definitely worked. Not everybody's looking at your friend. And I just wonder whose idea was it to really pin it on him, knowing that it wasn't him.
Sends out that tweet. Wow. Whatever else said,
Got you.
Yeah, and I was just sat there and I was just like, really? You know what I mean? Like just like that, 15 years. You don't want to wait for the facts.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to pause because this right here is a motherfucking word. When I tell you I have not heard else about that car accident, nothing. Only thing I heard, and it's all been alleged, was that people were paid off. People switched. I don't even know how, the way that car was so damaged, I don't even know how, because they alleged that he was driving, but then he switched seats with somebody else so he wouldn't get the charge. But then at the same time, didn't he walk home? I don't even think he was at the scene of the accident, child. I didn't hear nothing else about that. Like, one day, I do feel like somebody's going to do a deep dive docuseries on Kevin Hart and all of the mysteries surrounding him. But let's go ahead and get back to it.
You don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to.
So there was no call to you?
No. And that was another thing. If you thought that I did something to you, and we're like this, and these accusations that they're accusing me, your boy, for 15 years, you don't want to sit down and talk to me, brother? You don't want to look me in my eye and be like, he never, ever sat down and called me on the phone to say, yo, we need to talk, and I just found that odd, that's 15 years, brother. Come sit down with me. Talk to me. I wanted to talk to him, like, yo, hey, that none of that never happened. Till this day, none of that never happened.
Wow.
Yeah. So, again, I know he has his reasons. He got his team. They telling him, he's a megastar. He can't. He can't get caught up into words, and then now he may be liable for saying something, and vice versa. Of us having a conversation that he may not want to have.
Right.
So, But yeah, man, I was pissed, man. I'm gonna be dead ass. I'm still am, you know, I'm still am pissed, you know, about that.
And I think, you know, the reason why we wanted to speak with you is because from our perspective, you know, we got to see your name thrown out there in headlines. Judas, like Judas in the Bible, betrayed a friend.
Oh yeah.
Donkey of the day, like a lot of stuff has been said against
the disrespect, yeah.
And we'll get into that. And then as your team pushes forward with the case, you start seeing these other headlines very quietly. Charges drop.
Yeah, very quietly.
And that was quietly. So for us, it made me feel like, okay, there's still some missing parts in this. And this man, we learned about the internet. We're quick to kind of vilify you.
Real quick.
And we'll get to this one. We'll get to this one as well, because his attorney had some things to say where he felt like they made this up or whatnot, because I saw that one too. So yeah, I'm like, okay, it's slowly getting some views now. But somebody asked in the chat about what Kevin Hart accident, and I'm gonna see if they tried to scrub it from the internet or not. I think it happened 2019, didn't it? Or was that during the pandemic? Okay. When did they put this article out here? This article was 2019. Okay. So this one here, it says Kevin Hart expected to make full recovery as photo shows the car, right? So he had a full-on accident. Y'all see how tore up this car was? But they were trying to say that he wasn't driving. He was able to walk home. But then I believe the story started out that he was the driver. And then the stories just started to change, and it was so confusing. And I think he made it all the way home. Let me see if they have that in here, where he made it home and his wife had to call the cops or whatever, the ambulance, to get them out there. So this is the car. That's what it looked like. And it was like two people. It was him and I guess they were a couple. Somebody was in the back seat. I think it was the woman. The guy was in the front seat or something like that. Just a mess. And Nico Hart said Monday that her husband was going to be just fine. Okay. All right. They did say he had some serious back injuries or whatnot. I can't remember if any bones or anything were sticking out. I'm not going to really try to search for it, but there was an accident that happened and that he was able to somehow walk away from. And, it's his car, obviously, but he wasn't the one driving it that night. Yikes. But anywho, so let's get back, because I want y'all to hear what the attorney also had to say. Let's see.
What's currently going on with JT?
Yeah, happy to. So what's going on right now is that, well, let me take it back for a second. When I came onto this case, we sort of blew it up and exposed to the DA that this has nothing to do with extortion. Whatever the allegations were, it has nothing to do with extortion. The DA, to his credit, agreed, saw that, and dropped all the extortion cases against JT. However, that wasn't it for the DA. They have an attitude of they won't stop at anything for this case. They have it out for JT, and they will stop at nothing to get him. And that's what's very problematic about this case. Because, and that's unique to Los Angeles especially, because what we have going on right now is a celebrity case of celebrity justice, where you get one of the biggest stars in the world who is getting his own set of law enforcement and prosecutor and justice system against someone who he feels did wrong by him. And that's not okay. We can't stand for that anywhere in our system. So you hear a lot about what's going on in the news now with criminal justice reform and police officers and law enforcement and prosecutors manipulating evidence, changing evidence, falsifying evidence. That's exactly what has gone on in this case.
What?
It started from the beginning. The original search warrants against JT were fraught, against not just JT, other companies as well, were fraught with errors, misstatements, untruths. I don't want to use the L word, but something real close to that. No. Okay. Something real close to that. Something real close to lies, okay? Omissions, material omissions. Riddled with it. Nothing was true. I mean, from the simplest thing, it said in the warrants that Kevin Hart received the text message at his home in Los Angeles County. Not only, they knew full well, he never received the text message, A, and B, he was not even at his home in Los Angeles County. A simple Google search showed that he was on tour in North Carolina at the supposed time he received a text message, which he didn't. No effort was ever made to correct that misstatement. Okay, so the reports are filled with these kind of inaccuracies. Now, when you fast forward, once the DA realized that and realized that they got it wrong, okay, and that's okay, you can get things wrong, and they realized that they got it wrong. What they should have done is drop the case, walked away. You know, what Kevin Hart did in Las Vegas, that was a bad move on his part. That was a mistake on his part. But what happened is that Kevin got together a team of very powerful and well-known attorneys, together with his whatever agents, managers, what have you, and they basically concocted a story to make Kevin look like the victim in the case. Then they got together, they presented this case to the DA. The DA and the investigator in the case, wow, they got a taste of celebrity here, one of the biggest stars in the world, Kevin Hart. And they went and ran with it. And they continue to persist on charges against Mr. Jackson when the evidence just doesn't bear out. They have gone so far as to literally make up a charge against him. And when you talk about what's going on in the world right now, when you have rapists and murderers and drug dealers and street robberies going on, here you have this man who served our country, who has absolutely no criminal record, and you have law enforcement and the criminal justice system doing everything they can to pin charges on this man. And that's not okay. And we need to stand against it. And we need to stand up for it. And you know what? Kevin Hart, I wish him well. He made a mistake that weekend, but for him to go and make himself the victim of a crime that never happened, that's not okay. And I think when it boils down to it, we're going to have 12 people sitting in a jury box who are going to agree with that this man did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Is this so? Just to clarify, the current charge is identity theft. That's the last one.
Yeah. The DA has really twisted the specific words and language of the identity theft charge, the statute here in California, to really narrowly fit allegations in this case. And there is no case with similar facts and circumstances that sets a precedent for this, nothing that they can point to. And he's also charged it as a felony, a felony offense where this man could face state prison time if convicted. But fortunately, we know that, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Y'all dropped all them charges only to add
why
one.
do you both can answer think that these charges being dropped kind of happen so quietly?
It just doesn't fit the case. Like, it just don't make no sense. Y'all dropped all these charges on this man, all this extortion, and then because y'all feel like y'all got a duty or whatever y'all embroiled in, whatever y'all got going on, then y'all try to put what did he say? Some type of identity thing. What? That don't even sound right. Like it's related to the case. Like that's some. Child, see what can happen when you got coinage and it's given powerful. Baby, this
kind of happened so quietly.
I think it was a little bit of pie in the face, a little bit on the DA's part. But like I said, I give the DA credit for realizing that he had a legal problem with the case. However, and I will tell you this, I don't know if JT can tell you or even knows this, but like I just said, you have a case of celebrity justice where you have a very powerful celebrity with a team of high-profile and high-powered attorneys and agents and managers putting pressure on the district attorney's office to pursue charges. Because the stronger they go against JT, the more of a victim Kevin Hart becomes.
Honestly, my take on it is they thought that I was just this black dude that couldn't afford a lawyer. No.
I do want to highlight something he said, but I'm going to hold it close to my chest of what I'm thinking about. I probably never release it. But I'll tell y'all this. He said something that was very interesting. But based on the subject matter, it's something else that's in my head, but I'm not going to say it, but I'll just say this. What stuck out when I listened to this the first time, and now I'm rehearing it again, was him say you have this very powerful person with high-profile attorneys, and they are the ones, the high-profile attorneys are the ones putting pressure on the DA's office to continue to make the person that has access to the power and the money the victim in the situation when they may not be. I just thought that was interesting. And I'm like, damn, I may have to start just looking at situations when they happen now and who's connected to what. Sometimes it may be deeper than what we actually see on the surface of, oh my God, you did that to your friend, you this, you that, da-da-da-da-da. Maybe I need to just sit with my thoughts and just like see how stuff gonna play out, because you just never know. And this man's whole career, his name been slandered. He's been stifled within his career and shit. because his ex-friend was powerful, had a bunch of powerful attorneys, high-profile attorneys that applied pressure to the DA's office to move forward with the charges in hopes of convicting this man. But just none of the evidence was able to line up and stick. That's crazy.
And they probably rolled the dice and thought I was going to get a public defender. No offense to public defenders, but they made so much noise in the beginning. Maybe do the perp walk. You know, we got the guy. Kevin put out the Twitter, and it was this big thing. You know, and again, like how he said, now it's the pie in the face. It's just like, oh shit. Now they can, but it would make them look, you know, extremely bad. And they probably thought about some lawsuit or whatnot.
Yeah.
If they just come out and say, oh, well, we made a mistake. Kevin was never extorted.
And by that time, Kevin had shifted the narrative. This started out as a man who cheated on his pregnant wife on her birthday weekend in Vegas. That's how the story was run for a long time. And Kevin's team was successful in shifting that narrative to Kevin being the victim of something that happened in Las Vegas. And they weren't about to risk going back to Kevin going back to being that guy who cheated on his wife.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. And just lastly, and to wrap this up, what was your reaction to when you got official word that the charges were dropped against you? Where were you? What were those reactions?
I was like, I knew it was going to be. I was just like, man, it didn't move me. I'm mad that it took so long. You know what I mean? Like,
JT has been stone cold since the moment I met him. Stone cold, I did nothing wrong. Yeah. Let's get this case dropped. And that's when they dropped those charges, that was his attitude. Okay, we hit that, you know, we got that. We got that out of the way, let's move on to the next thing. Where are we at now?
Right. And that was, now we're here with the, and don't keep in mind that Kevin and his team never brought up, you know how it went down in the beginning. 2 charges, both extortion. The biggest one, but those were the only ones, you know, in the beginning. A year and a half, 2 years later, oh, we're gonna give you this charge, identity theft. Like, come on, man. Like, so like, I don't know how the justice and the DA's work and in regards to adding new charges. But I'm just saying, from the outside looking in regards to the DA's office, Kevin never brought up anything about any identity theft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, so where's this coming from? Whose identity am I stealing, or whatever the hell they want to say? You know,
the first time we heard the word identity theft, was, if I recall correctly, August of 2019. That was nearly 2 years after the alleged incident, and a year and a half after charges were filed against Mr. Jackson. It was simply made up. They had to go with something. Yeah. They had to make something up. Yeah. They have to find something.
Boy, that lawsuit.
And that's not right.
So, just to kind of wrap this in a bow, you feel that your client clearly was a victim himself in this, and that the DA dug them maybe this hole so deep that they just have to now push forward, or?
That's sort of how I feel. You know, listen, I think we as a society have to expect more from our criminal justice system, and we live in a day and age where we're looking from the outside in at the criminal justice system, wanting reform, wanting change, and this highlights it. He deserves that. He deserves to be the product of change here. You have a case that did not bear out the way they thought it would. Mm-hmm. Be a man about it. Dismiss the case, let this man go home to his loving wife.
They miscalculated him. Yeah, they miscalculated him. They, you know, again, no shot at my old lawyer, but I think they thought they can get over on him.
I appreciate that, but let me tell you something. If it was not Kevin Hart who was at the other end of this, if it was Joe Schmo versus Joe Schmo, they'd say, case dismissed, good luck to you in life. But that's not happening here.
So then my question is, with this happening 3 years ago, was the identity theft charge ever like fully released? You know what I'm saying? Like if it was completely dismissed. I did see a question or comment that says, so is it only called revenge P if we like the person? I'm still not understanding how it's Kevin's fault. Okay. I think with this one, it's not so much as it being his fault. It's more so about him accusing a friend of extortion when the friend had nothing to do with it. So the extortion charges were completely dropped and they have yet to name somebody else, and there is no extortion case moving forward. Therefore, there was no extortion that was happening. Who leaked it, which it still could be Revenge P, but technically not. Well, I can't say that it wasn't because I don't remember seeing his thing Okay. I remember hearing sounds and stuff like that. And I remember the phone being like, I guess like on the floor. And I think you see him walking around, but I don't know if he was fully exposed, and he may have been exposed. But the thing is, it could be revenge P, but you're going to have to put it on the person that it's supposed to be on. And they don't have that. I would think the person that set him up was the person he was in the room with, engaging in the activity with. That's what I would think. So the conversation at hand, in my opinion, and you could have been responding to somebody in the chat or something like that, but this really isn't about revenge P. And it's about you accusing your friend of extorting this information. And he came after him, not for revenge P, but for extortion. That's just like, it was just like really weird. And keep in mind, this, as the attorney said, and I'm not sure when you came in on the video, but Kevin cheated on his wife around the time that it was her birthday. I can't remember if she was pregnant or not. I want to say she probably was, but he had to change the narrative because we started to look at him completely different. It's your wife's birthday. You're hanging out in Vegas. Not only are you hanging out in Vegas, but you're cheating on her. And if she was pregnant at the time, it makes it look even worse, especially for his brand. So he needed to flip the narrative from it being about Kevin Hart being a cheater, but more so a victim of his situation. So when you say, how is it Kevin's fault? It ain't JT's fault. The person that's suing. So I feel like it may not be Kevin's fault for the RP, but it's his fault to accuse your friend of extortion that you know he did not do in order to make yourself a victim of a situation that you created. So that's where my head is with that situation. Yeah. So, okay, so she was pregnant. Okay, thank y'all. She was pregnant. That's what I wasn't sure about. So that's what I was thinking. She says, okay, so Kevin is the one who gave them. Yes. That's what you were trying to get. Okay, got you. Yeah. That's what happened. Yep. And it's crazy because out of all of the friends, if y'all have watched his docuseries before, all of the friends he had around him, it's like, damn, how you choose him though? How do you choose him? And I mean, and I'm not saying you should choose any of your friends when you're doing something like that, but what is it about this friend that you chose to do this to him? That's great. Like, girl. So I had to play those 2 clips for y'all so y'all could see what I saw. Okay. And y'all can get it how I got it. And we're about to get into this article because that friend that y'all just saw is now suing him for breach of contract for $12 million. Ain't this something? So they're saying that JT alleges that Hart breached their 2021 settlement agreement by failing to publicly exonerate him of baseless extortion allegations. Ain't that something? So even and that was filmed in 2019 when they dropped all of the extortion charges, and then they put identity theft charges on him, and it didn't make sense. They just needed to try and have his life tied the hell up, and I feel like they did that to prevent him from being so vocal about what was happening. But even after that 2019 interview we just saw, or however long it was ago, a few years ago, they done sat up here and had an agreement. So for you to do a settlement agreement with your ex-friend, to me, you definitely were operating foul. And it ain't no different than how we may have saw the Cassie and the Diddy situation and him settling the case. Even though they try to say it doesn't admit any of his wrongdoing. Nah, this right here, when I look, that's for Diddy. But over here, the fact that you needed to settle with your friend about these you lied on him. You lied on that man. That's crazy. So they're saying when Kevin Hart jumped on Instagram 3 years ago to discuss his bizarre 2017 SEX tape scandal, the related felony extortion charges filed against his friend JT. He says the superstar comedian said he was happy to be moving on from that chapter in his life. They said now the precise wording Hart used to deliver the seemingly unscripted message to his millions of followers is the subject of a new $12 million breach of contract lawsuit filed by Jackson in Los Angeles. Now, in his new 23-page complaint filed Wednesday and obtained by Rolling Stone, they said Jackson says Hart's social media post shared on October 27th, 2021 was far from spontaneous. Instead, it was the subject of a meticulous negotiated settlement agreement signed by the parties nearly 3 months earlier. According to the lawsuit, Hart was contractually obligated to use specific verbiage that would publicly exonerate Jackson. Okay, he's a professional bowler and an actor. Oh, I was wondering. I thought he was only like a comedian and an actor. So I was like, well, what is he doing for money? Because he's tied the hell up. I think you could make a lot of money being a bowler. So shout out to you. Okay. Now they're saying that Kevin purportedly was required to note not only that the criminal charges against Jackson had been dismissed, but that Jackson was fully cleared of any involvement in an extortion plot and that the scandal had cost Hart a valuable friendship. Girl, you can't make this stuff up. This somebody real life. Like, what the hell? Now, they go on to say Jackson alleges that Hart explicitly agreed to say, I lost someone close to me that I loved and still have very much love for, or high levels of love for. And I'm proud to say that all charges against JT Jackson have been dropped and he is not guilty and had nothing to do with it. Okay, so this is what Kevin Hart was supposed to put out there. Okay, but I think Kevin just said it. All he said was like, I lost somebody I love. I don't think he named him specifically in that post. Now, they say in his Instagram video, Hart instead said JT Jackson has been, I stand corrected. JT Jackson has recently been found not guilty, and those charges have been dropped against him, and I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. See, it's the last part for me. I would have been pissed off trying to sue too. Because number one, that's not what you were supposed to say. You're supposed to speak on your love and respect that you have for me. Okay. And my name being cleared. But the part that gets me is the last sentence. Okay. I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. I feel like that's continuing to put yourself in a role as though you're the victim in a situation that you ultimately created on both sides. So what? I mean, that's just how I'm taking it as I read it. Now, they said Hart noted that their friendship was lost, but the statement appeared neutral. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over. Oh, that's what he said, too? Oh, wow. Hart did not include the line that Jackson had nothing to do with it. Didn't say the man had nothing to do with it. Then went on to say that the friendship is over, and I'm glad that it's over. Oh, wow. So basically, you came to the front and said that he was found not guilty and the charges against him had been dropped. But technically, it's not that he was found not guilty because he didn't go beforehand to be judged. The charges were dropped before he could even get there. So it wasn't even about really being not guilty. But I see Jackson wanted him to say that like they were dropped because he had nothing to do with it ultimately. He had nothing to do with this. Oh, Lord. He says, I can finally speak out on what I once couldn't. And you continuing to put yourself in that role like somebody did something to you, child. They said the wording of Hart's statement, meticulously negotiated and detailed in the contract, was crucial to repairing and remediating the severe damage inflicted upon the plaintiff's reputation by the baseless extortion allegations that Kevin aggressively promoted and publicized. They said the statement Hart ended up delivering dilutes the intent by framing the exoneration more as a conclusion to a chapter in Hart's own life rather than a clear, unequivocal exoneration of the plaintiff. Again, which is what I'm saying. Again, making himself the victim. Like, I'm glad that part of my life is over. And let me go back to what I was really trying to get out and say. Where was it? Okay, so he says JT Jackson has been found not guilty and those charges are being dropped against him. Basically, reading that part makes me feel like you believe that he's still guilty when you say that. Like, they may have cleared him. He was found not guilty. The charges may have been dropped. I still feel like he has something to do with it. I'm glad that I can finally speak on what I once couldn't. It's over, and I'm happy that it's over. I guess, child. I would have been on him too about that. So they're saying the new lawsuit filed by Jackson's lawyer, Daniel Rabach, marks the latest twist in the controversy that started when Hart and Jackson took a trip to Las Vegas together in August of 2017. A few weeks later, they're saying Hart's then pregnant wife allegedly received an anonymous message that said, unfortunately, your husband, Kevin Hart, is cheating on you. The message included a Dropbox link to an edited video showing Hart engaged in an intimate act with a woman in his private suite. They said that evening, Hart posted an Instagram video apologizing to his wife and his family. He admitted to a bad error in judgment and vowed he would not allow a person to have a financial gain off his mistakes, because the blogs was getting ready to leak it. The blogs was gonna put it out, so I think he did come out first to clear up the matter. But by that time, I think once he did that, everything came out. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Boom, here, everything. This is what it is, okay? The post led someone on using the Instagram handle Mr. Jude to leave a public comment that says, "Give me $5 million or I'm releasing the video. No need to make this go public. You had your chance," okay? So I don't know who this person was, but somehow he linked it to his friend. Now, in all honesty, y'all, I feel like in my personal, this was a scheme. This is all alleged. This is an opinion, my personal, not a fact. I feel like this came from Mr. H's team. This was the initial comment that sparked this story that then began to be created in an effort to paint him out to be a victim. Because I'm confusion as to how you say it's extortion, but then you got a whole handle and stuff and y'all can't do the proper researching on things to find out where that person may have been located. I just feel like it was a scheme that they came up with. As soon as he saw the backlash and the hate and everything people had to say and stuff, he had to immediately become a victim of that situation. They're saying hours later, the non-defunct website, which was Famous.com, and y'all know Famous used to be, well, this used to be Famous, but she is now known as Gossip of the City. Okay. They said she published the recorded video footage, and within days, TMZ reported that the FBI was investigating a multi-million-dollar extortion plot against Hart. Okay. I don't believe she had anything to do with it, but I believe she had to like change the way that she went about releasing information to the public. I think she ended up moving to Patreon, then she ended up getting her own website, and then where people had to come in and pay for tea, because she used to have way more information before the Shade Room, the Neighborhood Talk, before a lot of people. And it's actually because of her, for me, that I did believe that Offset about gave somebody some money when the allegations came out about the recent allegations about Cardi B and the girl. I'm sorry, about Offset and the girl, him cheating on Cardi B. And that was like recent when the story came out, when the friend was airing her out. But the actual situation of him cheating is old. That's old. But the girl finally exposing it is new. That's probably why Cardi B and her never spoke on it. But the fact that he may have given her money, I remember when Fee had tea on him a while ago, and she had put up like a little video or something, but I think he paid her some money, she said. He gave her like 10 racks or something like that is what she said, to prevent some information from coming out. And I think he snatched some from her or whatever. She had put like a whole little story out or whatever. So because of her, I believe, you know what I'm saying, the more recent story that came out. But anywho, so yeah, she would have a lot of access to stuff like these photos, videos, all of that. So I'm surprised that, I'm not saying that she did any extorting, but it's just interesting that you routed that back to your friend though, when she was like the first person to put some stuff out. But anywho, they go on to say that the same week there was somebody else that held a press conference to confirm that she was the woman in the video. Her name was Montia Sabaj. She proclaimed her innocence, saying she had nothing to do with the recording or any alleged extortion. Okay. What else happened? A judge dismissed her civil claims against Jackson because she tried to sue him too. So she went on to file a $60 million lawsuit against Jackson, JT, and Kevin, claiming that the men did this together to release this information on her. And a judge dismissed her claims against Jackson in August of 2022, citing that her Sabaj's lack of diligence, most notably her failure to obtain Jackson's case records from prosecutors who by then had dropped their two extortion claims. So her case couldn't go forward because his case got dropped. All right. So they said that her remaining claims against Hart would be dismissed in June of 2023. So that just happened last year. Okay. They said her lawyer failed to appear at a final status conference ahead of trial, probably because he about ain't get no money. If you don't pay them folks, they not going to move forward for trial. So yikes. Okay. But was there anything else? They're saying, according to Jackson's new lawsuit, Hart and his lawyers played an integral role in the events that led to his arrest. They're saying that Jackson alleges that Hart's camp misled investigators about key evidence shortly before more than a dozen armed law enforcement officers kicked down his door with, they was drawing on them. Okay. And this was January 2018. In a separate lawsuit against members of the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed last December, Jackson alleges the search warrant for the raid relied on a prior search warrant that described the Mr. Judd demand described the Mr. Judd demand for $5 million as the alleged extortion attempt. In the warrant, investigators described the demand as a private message sent before Hart posted his apology video. So they're saying that it was sent via a private message, but y'all just said earlier that it was a comment that was on his page. So which one was it? Was it a comment, or was it the post led someone to using? Yeah, y'all just said it was a public comment. So was it a public comment, or was it a direct message that went to them? But either way, I think it was a public comment. I think they needed to make that comment public. Or, I mean, well, I guess it wouldn't really matter which way it got sent to him, but I definitely believe it was a scheme that was set up to make Kevin the victim in the situation ultimately. And that's really what I'm getting at. Now, they said eventually the DA investigator who requested the search warrant admitted that the Mr. Judd message was a public comment. Okay, boom. Okay, we see the importance now. Not a private message. And that it was posted by someone as a response to Hart's public apology video. It was never linked to Jackson. After this revelation, prosecutors dismissed one of the 2 criminal extortion counts. They eventually dropped the entire case because it was a scheme that was set up to come to the people with the bullshit. That's why it had to be public. It wasn't private. It had to be public so that it could shape the narrative faster. That's what I would think. Now, they said Jackson's December lawsuit against the DA officials alleges that they violated his civil rights, fabricated evidence, and engaged in a malicious prosecution. The officials responded with a motion to dismiss the action in March, claiming they're entitled to immunity. Not the officials, the DA officials. Y'all are entitled to immunity. They are also reaffirmed their allegation that electronic seized from Jackson during the 2018 raid revealed Jackson's possession of the SEX tape and emails linked to Jackson attempting to sell the tape to media outlets before it went public. All right, it reaffirmed. They also reaffirmed their allegations of seizing this. It revealed that these tapes were actually in his possession when it wasn't. And according to prior court records cited in the dismissal motion, a media outlet received an email from someone trying to sell the video before it was released. The outlet allegedly shared the email with Hart's team, and in response, Hart's lawyers had someone reach out to the anonymous seller posing as a tape broker, eager to purchase the footage, and they said the negotiations eventually collapsed. Prosecutors alleged the email address contacted by Hart's fake broker linked back to Jackson's IP address. Really? For his part, Jackson is adamant he never committed a crime, did not sell the video, and never extorted nobody. Despite the allegations and the supposed connection of the IP address, the facts are I was not arrested on the day of the raid on January 2018. I was only arrested on April 30th, 2018 for an entirely unrelated incident concerning an alleged extortion email sent to him. This delay in arrest casts doubt on the strength and reliability of the evidence initially claimed by the DA's office. Child, I don't even want to read no more of this damn article. I really don't. Because y'all just really sat up here and played on this man top, falsified information, did all of this stuff only for the shit to end up being dropped. Y'all was wrong for that. Jackson alleges in his new suit that the copy of the email eventually shared by prosecutors indicates it was fabricated. Girl, cut it out. He claims analysis by 2 experts determined it was created using Microsoft Word May 2019, more than a year after the damn alleged extortion attempt took place. Y'all thought this man didn't have a coin just because Kevin do. And he done went and got a damn claims analysis by 2 experts to find out that shit was sent after the fact. So y'all was just making it up as y'all win is what it sounds like to me. They said Jackson's new lawsuit says false accusations were the driving force behind his eventual arrest. He alleges Hart claimed to have received that email in 2018, and we just learned that was debunked. Child, All right, let's see. How did they get here? Okay, so in his complaint, Jackson says his career and reputation has suffered profound harm in the aftermath of the failed prosecution, right? He says more harm has resulted from statements made by Hart's docuseries, Don't F This Up, a 6-episode We Don't Care. In the series, which is still streaming, Hart reflects on the SEX tape scandal and the end of his friendship with Jackson. He said it was tough to talk about the incident, laminating the loss of somebody that you truly trust and love. That's hurt. And again, you doubling down on making it seem like your friend still did it. You still believe he did it even though he was cleared. That's crazy. You still the victim in everything. Child, ain't that some nasty work? They said the series premiered after all the charges against Jackson had been dropped, child. But Hart's longtime friend and fellow comedian, Spank, still appears on the screen summarizing prosecutors' failed theory of the case. I guess he placed the camera in the room, videotaped the act, came home, edited up the video, and then sent him an email or ransom of like, look, I will release this video if you don't pay me. I think it was like $10 million or something like that, Horton says. After the series premiered, Jackson started gearing up to possibly file a defamation lawsuit against Hart, leading to the 2021. Okay, I know that's right, because you're not going to sit up here and got me locked up and think that you're going to continue to defame my name after them charges have been dropped. And you done fucked up my career? Oh, I'm on your ass. Defamation, Your Honor. Defamation. And that's what led to the 2021 settlement. That's now the center of Jackson's breach of contract claim. And that is how we got here. They said Jackson says the now dismissed criminal charges and high-profile Netflix series, purportedly viewed by millions of people, caused lasting harm to his career and his well-being. The persistent availability of this content continues to perpetuate the false narrative, causing ongoing harm to plaintiff's professional and personal life. Jackson, a Navy veteran, alleges the fallout has exacerbated his service-related PTSD and caused significant mental health struggles. Jackson is suing Hart and his Heartbeat Productions for breach of written contract. And this was written contract. That's right. You read over it. You saw what it was. You ain't just give him your word. You read over this. You signed it. You agreed to it and still ain't pay that man. Fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Baby, now he got you on fraud. And you over there getting somebody else on extortion. He got you on fraud. He's asking for at least $12 million in real damages as well as punitive damages to be determined at trial. So you might as well go and cut that man, cut the check. Go and cut him a nice big one and call it a day and let it go. Okay? That is crazy. 15, 16 years or whatever of long time friendship. Put these stories out on this man only for it to not be true. Try to claim that it was linked to this man from y'all pulling up IP address. Can't produce the IP address details to the attorney because you're going to have to share that discovery or whatever. Only for it to find it to turn around and be that a claim analysis learned that the damn email was created a year or so after the damn incident. Ain't that some shit? Girl, I can't. But here we are. It's a mess. It is indeed a mess. Okay. So yeah, that's wild. That's wild, y'all. Shout out to the people that's here. Almost 600 people in the chat. If we could get the likes up to, match, we would love that. But yeah, I just wanted to come to y'all real quick and talk to y'all about a few things, get into a few things. Definitely wanted to touch on this Kevin Hart. I actually didn't know that it dropped yesterday. I learned about it today. So I was like, oh yeah, we got to talk about this because I just watched those interviews not too long ago that JT did and he was cleared. And I always wondered, like, why nobody ever talked about that? What happened? Boop, there it is. Boop, there it is. Okay, so I wonder what's gonna happen. I'm hoping that they're gonna be just as loud should this breach of contract get settled. Hopefully people will be just as loud. But that's all that I have at this time. I thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for kicking it with me for an hour and something like that. You know what I'm saying? To my people that watch Love Island, today is Thursday. The Ooh Ladies First panel is indeed back, and we will be over on Bondi Blues channel. So y'all already know our show starts around 9 o'clock. And for the people that don't know, it starts around 9 o'clock. So yeah, we will be over there. We'll get into a variety of topics. Love Island will not be one of those, but I will get the video up to you guys on tomorrow. Okay, so you won't get a live from me tonight because I'll be doing the other live, the other show, and you won't get one from me on Sunday night, girl, and you ain't gonna get one on Monday night, okay, because your girl got 2 concerts back to back that she will be going to, but I will definitely get that up to y'all, okay, the next day. So be looking for it. Make sure your notification bell is on, because I might just pop up a premiere, or I might just pop up and go live the next morning or something like that. So just make sure you in all the right places to be, okay? Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JamiThatsMe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.